might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go! Bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without.
Okay, today we are going to do operations with integers. If the signs are the same, when you are adding, then you find the sum and you use the sign of both integers. Okay, you've been doing like these problems for a long time. You're adding two positive integers together. You know how to do this. 6 plus 7 is 13. Two positives equal a positive when added together. If we're going to add two negatives together, you think of the absolute value of the numbers, 6 and 7, add them together, it's 13. But since it is two negatives added together, it's going to be a negative 13. When adding, if the signs are different, you're going to find the difference and use the sign of the larger absolute value. So if I have a positive 4 and I'm adding a negative 7, I think of the absolute value of these two numbers, just 4 and 7. What's the difference? 3. What's a larger absolute value? 7, and that has the negative sign, so it's a negative 3. Now let's add negative 4 plus 7. Again, the difference between 4 and 7 is 3. The larger absolute value is 7, and that's positive, so it's a positive 3.
Okay, now we are going to learn how to subtract integers. So to subtract an integer, we want to add its opposite. Our first example is going to be a positive 4 minus a negative 5. What we are going to do is we want to change the sign to addition. So we now have 4 plus, and we are adding its opposite. The opposite of negative 5 is going to be a positive 5. So we can get our answer then of 9. Our next example, we have 2 minus 3. In this case, our sign is subtraction. So we're going to change this to 2 plus, the opposite of this positive 3 here is going to be a negative 3. Now we just remember our rules that we learned about addition. So we have a positive 2 subtracting 3. We're going to be left with negative 1. Our third example, we have a problem like this. Negative 7 minus 4. Once again, nothing is going to change with the negative 7. Right here we have a subtraction sign. We're going to change this to addition. So we are adding its opposite. Opposite of this positive 4 here is going to be negative 4. Now just like we learned in addition, we're going to add these two absolute values here. So we get 11, and we're going to keep the symbol of both of these, which is a negative. So we get negative 11. All right, so in this example, we're going to leave negative 5 alone. It's going to stay the same. In this problem, we have subtraction. We're going to change this to addition, and then we are going to add the opposite. In this case, our negative 3, we want to change that to its opposite, which would be a positive 3. All right, so now we have negative 5 plus 3. We want to find the difference of 5 and 3, which in this case is 2. And then we want to keep the sign of the larger, which would be negative 5. So we're going to keep that negative sign to get a final answer of negative 2.
So now we're going to talk about how to multiply and divide integers. And the first thing I want you to remember is that we multiply and divide just as we usually do. Okay, when we multiply 2 times 3, our number is still going to be 6. It's just we need to think about the signs. Okay? When we're multiplying or dividing 2 numbers with the same sign, our answer is going to be positive. Okay? So here's some rules. If I have a positive times a positive, they have the same sign, so my answer is positive. If I have a negative times a negative, those are the same sign, so my answer is going to be positive. Okay? And the same thing with dividing. If I have a positive divided by a positive, those are the same sign, so my answer will be positive. And if I have a negative divided by a negative number, my answer will be positive because those are the same sign. So now, if both of the numbers are different, the rule changes. So if I am multiplying or dividing 2 numbers with different signs, my answer will be negative. So let's go over what that would look like. If I am multiplying a positive and a negative, those are different signs, so my answer would be negative. Same thing if I switch that. If I have the negative come first and a positive here, so negative times positive, those are different signs, so my answer will be negative. And that also applies to division. If I have a positive divided by a negative, those are different signs, so my answer would be negative. And then also if the negative comes first, negative divided by a positive, those are different signs, so that will also be a negative. So now I'm going to show you what this would look like with actual numbers. Can you see that? Okay. All right, so 2 times 3. I know the answer to that is 6, but now I need to think about the sign of that 6. That's positive and that's positive, so those are the same sign, meaning my answer would be positive, so I don't need to change this. Now 6 divided by negative 2. I need to think about what 6 divided by 2 is, and that is 3. That is positive, that's negative. They have different signs, so that means my answer will be negative. All right, negative 2 times 3. I need to think about what 2 times 3 is, and that is 6. Now let's look at the signs. I have a negative times a positive. Those are different signs, so my answer will be negative. Down here, I have negative 6 divided by 3. I need to think about what 6 divided by 3 is. That's 2. Now let's think about the signs. That's negative, that's positive. Those are different, so that will give me a negative answer.
If you feel like happiness is the truth, because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is.